Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Pots and Petals here, everything garden and allotment related. It's Sunday morning, it's about 10 o'clock, but I haven't seen you guys since Friday last week, so apologies for that. But yesterday it was absolutely chucking it down. Here in the UK we got battered by a couple of storms, so torrential rain and loads of really gusty winds. I think they got up to sort of 40-50 miles per hour down here. So yes, yesterday the allotments was completely off limits, and not only that, but I had to do a little bit of overtime in the office, which wasn't great for a Saturday, but like I say, there was no chance of me getting down here for you guys. So I thought I'd get down here today and make sure nothing's damaged because of those winds. And the poly house, that's absolutely fine, but we have got a couple of the fence panels that have come down. So the first job to do today is get those fence panels back up. Other than that, the plot is looking great. All the beds, they're looking weed free. Given the time of year, weeds don't really seem to be growing, so we haven't got to worry about that. But we have got a little bit of bark chipping left to do, and also the two big compost heaps. They could do with a real good turn, so we'll see what we can get done today, and I'm sure there'll be some other little bits and bobs too. Now next weekend is going to be the big plot tour for December 2023, so I don't want to give too much away, and there's still other jobs such as the apple trees. They need pruning, but they've still got a few leaves on them, so I am just giving them a little while longer, and also the gooseberry plants, they could also do with a good old prune as well. Now it's dry at the moment, but we are due quite a bit of rain this afternoon, so I'm going to quickly go and warm myself up with a nice cup of coffee, and then we'll go and start on the fence and see what other little bits and bobs we can get done whilst we're down here. I hope you guys have had a lovely week, and like I say, I'm sorry I didn't get a video out yesterday, but don't worry, it's soon going to be the Christmas period, so I'm going to have lots of time off, which means time down on the plot, but also hopefully some time in the kitchen as well. So keep your eyes peeled for some of those videos to come. So come on, let's get cracking before the rain starts. Hey, Puss Puss. Hey, come on. Do you want some food? Yes, you do. Come on then. So as you can see, it's only this little bit of fence that's been blown over. So we're used to getting easterly winds here, but the wind yesterday was coming from the west. So this fence obviously hasn't been used to bending that way. Now I've got this plastic all over the place. So when I took over the plot with the bark chip side back in 2020, the guy had absolutely tons of the material. So he used to work for a conservatory business, or maybe his neighbour did. So they had lots of this off-cut plastic, and you'll notice that I've got loads of beds made from this. The great thing about this material is that it's insulated, but it also lets the sunlight through. So for a raised bed, it's great because it warms that soil up pretty early in the year, and it also keeps it nice and warm in there. Now I do get a lot of comments about this plastic, so I haven't gone out and bought it especially for this. It would have gone to landfill if I didn't use it, but yeah, it's some form of polycarbonate, I believe, and it's got loads of layers in there which traps the air to keep it nice and warm. I believe people use it as conservatory roofing, but as you can see, I use it for fencing and also the raised beds, like I say. So if you've been around on the plot for a little while now, you'll know that I'm pretty makeshift. So all I use is just different metal rods. I've also got some sort of wooden stakes that I use, and also some plastic ties just to prop it up. And it's been absolutely fine for years. It's just that we've had a westerly wind, which this fence hasn't been used to. So I'm just going to go round, get those stakes back in at the right angle so that we can prop this bit of fence back up, and also just use some cable ties just around those poles to keep it there. Now, if you've recently taken on a plot and you're looking for some form of boundary, honestly, just use your imagination because there's so much you can use. I've used this plastic here, but you could also use some plastic pallets that I've got down at the front, some wooden pallets, old fencing itself, but I've even seen people use windbreaks. Now, they're not great. They probably only last for a season or so, so I would try and use something a little bit more sturdy, such as pallet wood. I'm a big believer in recycling and upcycling as much as possible. So yeah, keep an eye out in any skips that might be local to you. You could go down to the local junkyard, but you've also got Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace where you can grab some absolute bargains. And they've even got some bits and pieces on there for free. So yeah, don't spend too much on the allotment. To me, it's all about getting really beautiful, fresh fruit and vegetables for a really cheap price compared to the supermarket. So the same thing goes for a lot of my structures. The only two things that I've really spent my money on is the fruit cage and the poly house because I want them to last a very long time. So come on, let's get this fence panel straightened up a bit. So there we go, that is the fence back up. Now you can see I've got this long raised bed here, and that seemed to have protected that bit of fence. So I'm thinking I'll carry on with a raised bed. So I need to either find some more of that plastic material or just create a little wooden one just to carry that on along here, because I don't grow anything here and it becomes a little bit of a weedy nightmare. So this is the wood chip side, and we've nearly done with all of the wood chip. We've just got a little path over there where the grass is starting to grow, but I want to give that a weed before I give that a mulch. So we're not going to do that today. But then just down here by the strawberry bed, I haven't done this little L shape just along here. So we're probably talking 2, maybe 3 barrow loads. So what we'll do is we'll go and head down to the wood chip and we'll start filling this area up. It's now starting to spit a little bit, so I don't know how much more we're going to get done down here today. But before we go, I did want to get a couple of parsnips out of the ground, especially now that we've had these frosts. So come on, let's dig a couple of these up. So we've got 4 quite nice sized parsnips there. Now they're not as big as the one that we pulled up last week or a couple of weeks ago, because that was absolutely ginormous. However, the really big ones can have a really tough core which you need to get out, but these smaller ones should be much better and we'll be able to use near enough the whole thing. So your parsnips, these are great roasted with a little bit of mustard, honey and oil, or they also make beautiful soup with some curry powder. So yeah, these will definitely be used up in the next few days. All we've got time for today, folks. It started to tip it down, so I thought I'd just jump in my car. I don't think there's much more we're going to get done down here today, but we've managed to get a bit of bark chip down, and we've also got some parsnips to take home with us. Now I know it's been a bit of a flying visit today, but I promise next week it looks like the weather's going to turn and we're due for a little bit of sunshine, so fingers crossed I'll be down here both Saturday and Sunday with another adventure down on the plot. But there is going to be the December plot tour hopefully next Saturday for you guys, so keep your eyes out for that. In the meantime, I hope you've got a lovely week ahead of you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you all very soon. So take care guys, see you later, bye bye.